Hi folks, John with the Wingman 115 channel. I am so happy to be with you tonight. Now, my programming had been disrupted because of this little thing called a pandemic going on around the planet. But I found a way to basically do gear reviews in isolation. So you folks are going to have to bear with me. I can't get out on location, out in the woods and such. But we're doing the best we can with what we have. So tonight we're going to be talking about a flashlight from NITECORE. It is the P22R. Now, as always, I'm going to cut away real quick. I'm going to give you a quick specs rundown. You're going to see the ins and outs of this light. We'll do some backyard shots with the light. I'll dim the camera light when I do that. And then we'll bring it back 360 for some final thoughts. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. You, me, flashlights, gear reviews. The video starts now. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this review. You guys want to see how it's going to perform. So here is the low setting, and this is 1 lumen. Now, at 1 lumen, you have 180 hours of burn time, and it has 5 meters of throw. Now, with 1 lumen, a lot of people are snubbing their nose and going, 1 lumen's nothing. Well, if you're navigating, if you're trying to be covert, if you're in a tent and you just don't want a lot of light to wake up somebody in the tent with you, if you're just trying not to have a lot of light to disorient you in your night vision, 1 lumen is more than enough. Now, these bushes right here are about 1.5 meters away, and there's good usable light there. But once I start getting out to 3 meters, it washes out quite a bit. So I would just use this for its intended purpose of map reading, book reading, looking in your backpack, and such. Now, let's go to the next setting, which is the medium setting. Now, this is 75 lumens, has 11 hours of burn time, and 55 meters of throw. Now, the house behind me is at about 75 meters, and it's just starting to shine that chimney back there. I can't see a lot of detail, but if I was out in the woods, it would definitely pick up eye shine, no problem. But up close, my target right there is 15 yards away, and it has no problem at all. One thing I like too is, as you can see, there's no halos with that. Now, let's go to high. High is 380 lumens. We get 2 hours and 15 minutes of burn time and 127 meters of throw. Now, look at, I'm not even pointing it at the chimney in the back, and it's still picking up some of the shine off that. That's a lot of throw. Now, let me light up that chimney. No problem at all right there. And you get pretty good burn time, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 380 lumens. There's a big misconception out there that folks think they need thousands of lumens, and you don't, because what happens is if you're out in the woods and it's really dark and you're using a light that strong and then you shut it off, you're pretty much blind for a while until your eyes can readjust. With 380 lumens, that's not bad. Your eyes can readjust real quick. Now, on turbo mode, here we go. Here's 1,000 lumens. you get approximately 45 minutes of burn time and 197 meters of throw. Now, I'm pointing it at the ground, and look at the chimney in the background. Just from the wash of the light, just picking it up. Now, what would I use this for? Emergency situations. Somebody's in the water. I'm looking real quick. Maybe there was an animal, something we heard in camp, and I just need to shine it real quick just to see if we pick up anything. Because if I'm out in the woods, the last thing I want to do is use up all my battery power, and this light's going to get a little warm too. So with that, I would be probably thrifty with how much I used turbo. But there's enough usable light with the 380 lumens and the 75 lumens for around camp. You are not going to have a problem at all. Now, a cool feature on this is the strobe feature. Now, the strobe feature, I don't know what NITECORE did, but they redesigned their strobe on this light. And yes, I did test it out on myself, and I must tell you that it's very disorienting and it'll make you sick really quick. Now, that includes eyes open, which I could not hold them open for more than a second, maybe a second and a half, and eyes closed. So what would you use that for? Let me take it off here so we don't drive ourselves crazy with this. So what would I use the strobe for? Well, security. If you're a security officer, police officer, even if you're just a person that's a jogger, maybe somebody who hikes, it's gonna create distance. So it may get you out of a bad situation if you don't have pepper spray or some other implement to help you get out of those dicey situations. So with that, let's cut away and let's go back and for some final thoughts. Now for some final thoughts on the NITECORE P22R. First off, let's talk about the holster, because on a lot of these flashlights, they come with this janky ballistic nylon holster that, I'm sorry, they're just terrible. This one, check it out, folks, came with a nice, it's almost like an impact resistant plastic. It's pretty tough. And I'll get up close so you guys can see here in the light. It's adjustable, so if you have a duty belt or if you have a thinner belt, you can adjust it to the size of your belt. And what I like about that is that it goes in and then you have a nice interference fit on there. So I really like where NITECORE is going with this. You could hook this to Molly gear, Pal's webbing. If you have a backpack or some sort of sling, you could definitely attach this, no problem at all, to that. And then you just got quick access to the light. So NITECORE, that is definitely a check in the plus column. Now, the light, here, let me set it offside. Just the looks of it is just very aesthetically pleasing. Now, if you look, let me put my glasses on here so you can see. If you look at the back, here's the on and off switch. But this little switch right here also is your strobe. So if you happen to be hiking, biking, walking, your security guard, your police officer, just fill in the blank, and you hear that one noise and you're not sure what that is, you can quickly come up, boom, you hit it with a strobe, and you might be able to create some distance, be able to exfil, get out of that bad situation. It runs off an 18650 battery. That's pretty much standard now in the business. And if you're a CR123 fanboy, well, let not your heart be troubled, because you can install 2 CR123 batteries. It does have an adapter that you can slide down into the barrel of this flashlight. So with that, folks, that is a wrap. What I'll do is I will leave links in the video description below if you want to learn more about this light. And folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care, folks.